Sir Lewis Hamilton, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us. Firstly, I want to start with an iconic picture that you were involved with at Maranello for the first time in front of the house of Enzo Ferrari. I sat there, as did about 5.5 million other people at home, and I saw that image and I was just like, wow, this is completely iconic. This is Formula One in a nutshell. How was that experience for you going to Maranello and being involved with that for the first time?
It was incredible. It was obviously a long build up to having that day. I had a long time to think of what that first day would look like, what I would be wearing, what car I wanted to have, where I wanted to take the picture, and that's exactly what, I was able to creative direct basically it, and that was exactly what I wanted. And I think the response, it was amazing. Obviously, hadn't done any social media during my off season really, apart from the ski part later on, and then to drop that kind of as your initiation into this, the legacy of this iconic legacy of this incredible brand was magical. It was the first day. I couldn't stop. To be honest, every day I've just been beaming with the biggest smile.
And you said about how it's been a long time coming. Obviously, the news dropped to the whole motorsport world at the start of last season that you'd be joining the Scarlet Red team and Ferrari for this season. I would just want to get your opinion and just tell me a little bit of your insight actually to what made you want to make that move across to Ferrari. It's such an iconic team in the sport, but you'd had so much success with Mercedes. What was the turning point for you to make that decision?
I don't think that was necessarily a turning point. I mean, it already in the back of my mind always been kind of a hope that it would be great to be able to have this opportunity if I'm lucky enough in my career. I kind of thought that at this point in my career maybe it passed, and it's just unfortunately the stars never aligned, but they just did at the right time, and I was very much in need and excited for that kind of, I said it last night, that just I feel invigorated. I have this new breath of fresh life into my lungs and into my spirit. I'm being massively challenged to work with a whole new team of people, getting used to the Italian culture, getting used to the passion which is on a scale that you can't even put words to, and being with such an iconic brand. If you look at the history, to know that I'm finally here and I'm actually going to be a part of that history within the future. It's the most exciting thing and most exciting time ever.
Well, not only are you invigorated, mate, we're all invigorated too. We can't wait to see you out on track in red. I want to get your perspective though, because an ex-rival and competitor of yours, Sebastian Vettel, when he joined Ferrari, said that everyone really is a Ferrari fan. And now you've settled in with the team, you've been to Maranello, you've seen the Tifosi out in full support for you. I want to get your opinion on if that's true. Is everyone really a Ferrari fan at heart?
I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but I do think so. I mean, everywhere I've traveled around the world, you see the passion for the brand all over the world, from little kids. I mean, it's the great thing about sport. Of course, there's fans for many of the different teams, but there's something there's just no team like there's just no team and no brand like Ferrari. I don't think there's any other brand in the world, if I'm really honest, that encapsulates this passion from a whole country. It's maybe if you talk about Brazil and their football team, maybe, but that's probably the only one that could get maybe close to this sort of feeling. And the passions are high. They're very, very emotional and very excited people here, which is great to see.
And we've heard you now say multiple times that you're being pushed to your limits here to go into a completely new environment, so many new people, learn new systems. It's really challenging you as a person, as a driver, to learn that culture. But the season is coming up fast, and everyone at home, myself included, sat here wondering, how has the first few months been? And do you think that Ferrari is going to be the right team for you to win that 8th World Drivers' Championship?
Well, firstly, I know this team is, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And I followed my intuition, my gut, and honestly, every day has felt right. I've been made to feel right at home. I know, luckily enough, having the experience of gone to another team before, I know what that step is like, and I've been able to prepare for this one even better than ever before. However, it is a massively steep learning curve and is a completely different characteristics of car. I've been driving a completely different engine for so long. I'm enjoying this new kind of class that I'm in the sense of like the learning lessons that I'm and also just being able to bring my own tools, bring my own experiences, and merge them with the incredibly talented people that are here. They have every single ingredient needed to win a World Championship here. It's just about putting the pieces together.
Well, Lewis, we're not going to take up any more of your time because I can imagine you're a man that's in fairly high demand right now, but thank you for speaking to us and we look forward to seeing you start the season in Scarlet Red.
Thank you, Billy. Good to see you.
Fred Vasseur, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us. It's been a highly anticipated start to the season for Ferrari for a whole number of reasons, but I just want to get your perspective on how things are going so far.
Yeah, it's true that it was a strange start, that we, at the beginning we were much more focused on the social media and marketing than proper racing, but now we turn the page. Now we are back on track. Even the launch yesterday was mega in London, but this morning we are back on track. It's the start of the season for us, and it's a good one.
And obviously I know your focus is going to be on the on-track activities, but we do need to mention Lewis Hamilton signing for the team and your influence in making that all happen, because you and Lewis have got previous relationships from in the junior categories, haven't you?
Yeah, we had a collaboration 20 years ago, or almost 20 years ago, in the junior series that it went pretty well at this stage because we won together F3 and F2. But it's not the reason of this, and the reason is that today we want to win the championship, we want to have the best lineup, we want to have the best team, and I think Lewis is part of the project, and for this reason, not because we collaborated 20 years ago.
And from your side, how is Lewis settling into the team? Because obviously for him, he's a driver who's been with Mercedes for a many number of years now, so it's a big change and shift for him. So what have you done as team principal to, settle him in as best as possible?
Yeah, but I think it's also part of the project. It's important for us to have Lewis on board. You know Lewis, that is a very exigent driver, that pushing the team on the limit and this is good for us. And he's also coming with the experience of 10 years at Mercedes with a different vision of the race, and it's not one is better than the others, but it's always important to have a different vision, and that this will help us to do the next step.
And seeing the scarlet red car, Lewis in scarlet red overalls, alongside Charles Leclerc, it feels like the whole package over at Ferrari is really coming together. You've got such a strong driver lineup there with Charles and Lewis. How does that change maybe the pressure on your side? Because now you've got such a strong lineup. Does that change things for you?
Not at all. I think that I put the pressure on myself in any case, and I think last year we had also the pressure, and the year before also, and it's not a matter of lineup for me. We are all doing this job because we want to achieve, we want to win the championship, we want to win races, and it's better to have a good lineup than not. It means that I'm very, very pleased with the situation, and pressure, I will put the pressure myself on my shoulders, don't worry.
And in order to get that strong lineup, obviously there were conversations that had to be had between you and Lewis. And we also know you've got a very strong relationship between yourself and Toto Wolff over at Mercedes. So have you two forgiven each other now? Are you on good terms?
No, that we are old enough, it's not the right word, but mature enough to keep a good relationship, that we are fighting on track. Because we are competitors, but we are also friends outside of the business. It means that we are able to keep a good relationship outside of Formula One. Thank you.
Well, that's good to hear. That is good to hear from my side. And Fred, obviously on-track performance, it's what Ferrari stands for. It's, the goals will be there from your side and the team side to win not only the Drivers' Championship, but if you can, the Constructors. And at the end of last season, you narrowly missed out on the Constructors' Championship. So now that you've got Lewis and Charles for your drivers' lineup, do you see that Constructors as well within your grasp?
Well, it's true that last year I think we were not that far away, that it was just a matter of one overtaking from Carlos on Lando, or one position on the last race. It means that it was almost nothing and a lot, because there is a big difference between P2 and P1 at the end. It means that it's not that we were missing something, it's that we have to improve on a lot of details, and we are really pushy, we are really convinced that we can achieve it, but we have to improve everywhere and to pay attention to details, and it's really the mindset today of the team.
And obviously that's now added pressure because, you know, Lewis Hamilton has joined your team, but what is that pressure like for you as the team principal for the team to deliver this season? Are you feeling any difference with the nerves, the anticipation before the start of the season?
I don't think that it's pressure, it's more motivation. And I think it's a mega good feeling to put everything together, to try to build up something. It's like a puzzle that you have to find all the pieces of the puzzle, and I think we are on the right way for this, but it's more a good feeling than a pressure.
Well, Fred, thank you so much for talking to us. Really excited to see how Ferrari get on this season with such a strong driver lineup. So wish you all the best and see you out in Australia.
Thank you, Billy. Thank you. See you soon.
Thank
ciao,
you.
ciao.